hello, and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Lisa Leslie appeared on Just Women's Sports for a mini interview in the midst of the Final Four, as the Final Four was approaching. You know, I am on record as criticizing Lisa Leslie when I felt that she needed to be criticized. Some things she said that I didn't agree with. I've done videos about that. I've also done videos about her speaking up and taking the heat for saying positive things about Caitlin Clark, which people out there didn't like and wanted to come after her for. But she's not afraid to say those things. She's not afraid to say that to Angel Reese's face, we got to fix those layups. Their layup problem is fixable. That's something that you're going to have to do. She's not afraid to work with Angel Reese during Unrivaled and help her on her game. She, like I said, is not someone I've always agreed with when she was a player. I wasn't a huge fan. Got an opportunity to meet her a few years ago. Appreciate hearing her speak. Appreciated one-on-one time, little bit of time I had to talk to her. But again, don't agree with everything Lisa Leslie says. I don't have to agree with everything anyone says. But when someone says something that makes sense, that's wise, especially from someone when we're talking about the sport of basketball who's played in the league and has had great accolades in the league, has won championships, has been an MVP, has been, I can't even name off all the stuff that Lisa Leslie has done, obviously an Olympian, etc., and now does some broadcasting and some Angel Reese coaching on the side or whatever else, and coaching in the Big Three, etc. So when someone like that speaks, I'm going to listen. And if I disagree, I'm going to say I disagree. But when they say something that has wisdom, then I'm able to do that, right? I don't have to shut out everything someone says, depending on who says it. I mean, there are some people you just wonder if they got anything good to say that's worth listening to. And then there are people you wonder if they ever say anything that is not worth listening to. Well, Lisa Leslie is a mix of both for me. But on this episode of Just Women's Sports, she was asked that question that we have talked about concerning, can you be among the best if you've never won a college championship? We know what ESPN said about Caitlin Clark. Oh, she's done this. The list is 5 miles long, but she never won a college championship. We've dealt with all that. We also hear the conversation right now concerning Paige Bueckers. Some people obviously just like Paige and they want her to win that championship. Some people, let's be honest, want her to win the championship because they're going to go right to social media and it's going to be a whole thing about Caitlin Clark. We know how that goes. Well, Lisa Leslie was asked about Paige Bueckers winning a championship because, well, at that point, they were still, the Final Four hadn't happened yet. But right now, obviously, Paige Bueckers will be in the championship game, not just Paige Bueckers and her team, because that's important and something people seem to forget whenever it suits their agenda. But Paige Bueckers and the UConn Lady Huskies will take on South Carolina on Sunday. And so there's that question. Let's take a look at how that went down. And this video is called Sports Are Fun at the Final Four with Lisa Leslie, Aaliyah Edwards, Kelsey Mitchell, and more. So let's take a look at that part.
Lisa, when I think of some of the best players in UConn history, a lot of them have championships. So how important is a championship to Paige's legacy at UConn?
Well, I think people ask that all the time.
I am curious though.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's not that important.
You don't think
What
so?
do you mean it's not important?
No. The reason why it's not, well, here's the reason why it's not important. I'm a great example of why it's
I was about to say, did you never won,
I mean, so how would I answer that any other way? I didn't win a national championship in college. That was college, but there's a whole career beyond
You won
that.
as a pro.
But this is a good question because
so you still won at some point.
about the
But, yes, I won at some point. There's some people who've never won at all.
Right.
So that's a different conversation.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, Lisa, I feel like we've grown up with Paige in like an NIL era. Like you have she's captivated like such an audience in such a massive way. If she isn't to win a championship, in like 10 years from now, is she being spoken about in terms of like the same conversations you have with like former UConn legends?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You heard it here first.
Because you're looking at Paige Bueckers, who the NIL deals, the person that she is, how she, I think, again, I don't know her well, but just the way that she celebrates and shares with her team. Sometimes we get mixed up with like accomplishments and accolades versus the person. Paige Bueckers seems to be an amazing person and teammate. And so I think that carries. Also, we have social media, so there's no way you're going to forget about her. She's about to be the #1 draft pick in the WNBA. Now, she gets there, and she doesn't have a stellar career in the W. Well, maybe we don't talk about her anymore. But I don't really see that happening. I think it will continue to build. And she'll also be an Olympian. She'll also possibly, again, I'm not on the committee, but play in the 2028 Olympics, maybe.
So fun.
So it's like, you can't just say if this young lady doesn't win this national championship that we're going to be like, oh, Paige Bueckers, who?
Right.
Like, no, it
She's
doesn't.
changed the game in like so many other ways. I feel like.
It just doesn't hang on one accomplishment. It
Very
really
true.
doesn't.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, at first, it seems kind of odd, maybe, that she uses herself as an example, kind of like, oh, so you don't have to win a championship to be considered great. And then you're like, yeah, because you didn't win a championship and you want to be considered great. But really, she is a good example of that, because I doubt that there's one person who would say Lisa Leslie wasn't a great basketball player because she didn't win a championship. Like, most people probably are like, oh, I don't know whether she won a championship. They didn't go about looking to see whether or not Lisa Leslie won a championship. They know that she went on to a professional career and she did what she did. As she pointed out, at some point she won. At some point she accomplished things on the professional level. Again, I doubt there's anyone who's just like, oh, is Lisa Leslie, was she a great basketball player? I'm telling you that no one is thinking of Lisa Leslie as a scrub. No one is thinking of her as anything other than a legend in the game, a champion, an Olympian. Let's just say she didn't show up in the top 5 for some of these people who are making their lists, but people thinking of Lisa Leslie aren't saying, oh, wait, did she win? They're not thinking about that with her. They use that measure selectively. It's a team sport. And there's something to be said, I believe, for winning championships. Now, obviously, Paige wants to win a championship. We'll find out if that happens or not. Lisa Leslie said, I don't think it's important. I don't think it's important. People will try to judge you by that. Now, there are, again, some people who will try to judge Paige by that for reasons that are to fit the narrative. Oh, they really want, because she got one, but Cece didn't get one, and they want to do that. And there are some people who, well, don't root for UConn at all, like me, but wouldn't root for the championship because they know, cue the people who will start with the nonsense. And so there's that too. But like I said, I think what Lisa Leslie said, there's wisdom to it. I think it's also important that she pointed out, well, we can talk about the next step. Like, if you don't win in the next step, then, we can talk about that. At some point, you should win a championship. We can, discuss that, she said. But she was asked the question as it pertains to Paige. I just wanted to jump in and insert this and pick your brain a little bit, because the wheels are turning in my own brain, so I'm picking my own brain. But Paige Bueckers plays alongside Sarah Strong, alongside AZ Fudd. She plays with a coach who is an 11-time champion, and then there are obviously other strong pieces to her team. Does that change your opinion? We know what Lisa Leslie said. Does that change your opinion about whether Paige needs to have a championship to be considered one of the legends of college basketball, one of the legends of UConn? Does she have to have a champion because she is on a team where they can do some considerable damage and do considerable damage to other people? Does that change the picture for you at all in terms of whether a player, and in this case, Paige Bueckers, can be considered one of the greats at UConn or one of the greats in college basketball in general? So just something to throw in there, because I just started thinking about it, and that might change your answer a little bit when you think about that. Just as we sometimes say, well, when someone doesn't win a championship, you got to look at the pieces around them. If you got more pieces and you don't get it done, does that have anything to do with your legacy or no? Let me know in the comments. Hey, subscribe to the channel, please, if you haven't done so. And if you have subscribed, you know I appreciate you. I really appreciate the members of the channel as well. Oh my goodness, we have such an amazing time. Our members live streams are so much fun. And even when we're all together in the live streams, so much fun. So hang out with me for the championship game, UConn versus South Carolina. We will find out if Paige does indeed get that championship. And I intend to have a blast with everyone. Hopefully these games are not snooze fest, but are actual. This game, I should say, is not a snooze fest, but that it's actually enjoyable and has us really dialed in. All right. I will catch you next time at that game, God willing. God bless you abundantly.